Right now, right away, I can already hear a little bit of a hiss that's not related to volume. This will be the completion of the wiring for bypassing the factory amplifier in a 100 series Land Cruiser. Already ran wiring to the amplifier, and now I'm going to go back and just clean up the termination of that wiring and show you what you can do with the right connectors. Alright, so I found a good path for the RCA cables. If you remove the glove box, it's pretty simple, but the glove box has 2 screws on the bottom hinge, and remove those 2 screws, pull the latch, and it comes out. So if you do that, then you can get in this area right up here. So I'm just going to route the wires over this HVAC register and right down into the glove box area, and then I can just bring it right over here, and then go down there into the kick panel under the door sill there, and then to the back. Alright, we're going to take off the door sill now. Real simple, especially if you've got a interior trim removal tool. We need to take this out before I can take the kick panel out. You may be able to kind of shimmy it in there with this still on, but it's easier to just take it out. And I want to run the wire under the carpet anyway, so I'm going to take this out, run the wiring under the carpet along this side. So there are 3 tabs, and you can find them pretty easy if you've got one of these tools. It's right here. And it takes a good bit of force, and it feels like you're going to snap something. Bigger one. There you go. Okay, there it goes. Now you can do this without the tools, but it's really difficult to get a good grip on there. With the tool, they're fit just right, so you can go right there. Oops. So you can go right there and push right up on what you need. Otherwise you can use a screwdriver, but try and get it right there. If you pry up like right here or right here, you're just going to ruin this piece and maybe break it there. So anyway, that's out now. Looks like carpets could use a little bit of vacuuming. But the carpets come up, they're clipped onto the frame there, so I'll peel that back and slide the wiring in under there. So just like that. And I need to take this guy out too. And then I can feed the wiring under. Now the kick panel came out real easy. There's this guy towards the back, towards your toes if you're sitting there. Unscrews on a little bolt back there, pop this off, and then this just pulls out. Real simple. Okay, the first step in getting to the wiring is to remove the seat, because the amp is right under the seat. So you've got plastic covers right here that I've already removed. They're really easy to take off. You just need to pry them off with a screwdriver. Just keep prying around the sides until it pops loose. You shouldn't break them. They bend real easy. They're real flexible. So just keep wiggling away at those until they break loose. Once you expose the bolts, then you can crack them loose. Okay, seat undone. Now I'm just going to pick it up and tilt it back, disconnect the power connector, and then I can lift it back and scoot it back towards the back seat. Here's the amp. This is what we need. So Now I'm going to grab my other connector and start working on this. I believe I have the right connector. It's a TS90, if that's in focus. TS90. I've got the wiring diagram here to make sure I'm using the correct wires. This is what the connector looks like that I got. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pin connector. I think it's a Sumoto connector, but I'll verify that. So here's our connector on the existing harness. Now let's grab one of the new terminals to compare to make sure that they're hopefully the same thing. And it looks like those are the exact same thing, which is great news. That's really good. That means that these should work just fine. I'll crimp the wires coming from the head unit into new terminals, which will then plug in to one side of the connector. The other side of the connector will be populated with the existing terminals from the OEM harness. Okay, I went ahead and wired up one terminal here. So I'm going to go through the rest of these and wire up these terminals. And then once I'm done wiring the speakers, I'm also going to go around and try to wire the power so that I can take out the amp entirely. Because really we don't need this here anymore. Once you bypass power and the speakers, this is doing no good. So might as well just get it out. I'm going to keep the same terminal locations for the speakers on a 99 and I assume a 98. The speakers are 1 through 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have an 11 pin terminal, or an 11 pin connector, so that works out really well. 8 channels, 8 lines will be taken up for the speakers. I've got 3 left over. My plan is to use those for power and ground to bypass the speaker entirely and not cut any of the wires right there. So that's the plan. Here it goes. Wiring is done. So now, for the speakers at least, if I take this and plug it in the right way. Oh, I have to lock it, so clip the lock on the back there. Bam! There we go. Sweet. So now, all the speakers are bypassed. Gray, terminal 2, on this connector here, is accessory power in. I'll demonstrate this here. So hopefully you can see that well, and if you're viewing HD you can probably read the lettering even. So terminal 2 on that connector is accessory in. We need to connect that to accessory out. So terminal 9 on B needs to be connected to terminal 2B. A few ways we can do that. I'm going to try and keep the stock wiring intact because I like doing that. And then we need to bridge battery, and that's in terminal or connector A, terminals 7 and 16. There are 2 of them. That's because you're getting power to the amplifier. The amplifier is going to draw a little more power. I'm only going to the head unit. Notice there's only one lead going from the amplifier to the head unit. One lead is fine. I'm going to leave the other one in the factory connector. And then we need a ground. The ground is attached up there, so I'm maybe just going to leave the ground alone. The ground there is going to be better than anything coming from this harness anyway. So, without further ado, here we go. I will show you how to unlock the connector. So you need your extractor tool and get it under this white part of the plastic here. Just going to pry up. This one's kind of being a pain. It should snap up once you really get it. There it goes. Alright, so now the terminals are unlocked. Terminal 2 is going to be that gray guy right there. So what you do is grab your lead. Okay, I got the lead. Now you're going to put the extractor into here, slide it on top. And this is the part that may take a little bit of practice. Oh, it's because I'm going on the wrong side of it. The lock is on the bottom. That was really easy. Lock's on the bottom. All right. So here we have our accessory power. So we need to connect this to the accessory power going out, which is the other gray wire. Now I'm going to try and label this with some stray electrical tape. So the one that I'm taping now, that's incoming power. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but just in case, there's your other gray. Put the extractor in, pull down on the tab, comes right out. Piece of cake. 2 seconds once you figure out the right side. That's what I'm going to have to do. So one will go straight into there. The other one I'm going to have to go to an intermediate connector. And I've got another one of those, so that's not a problem, but just wasn't expecting to do that. So, there's that. I'm going to do this, get this finished up, and then do battery. Battery is live, so you don't want to do that with the battery connected, or if you do, you want to be really careful not to shock yourself or ruin any other components. So I'll try and be careful with that. Okay, we have successfully completely bypassed the amp. I tested it out. The camera battery died on me, so you didn't get to see that. Sorry. But trust me, the stereo works. So we can now remove this amplifier, the piece of crap that Toyota put in there 10 years ago. It's got a couple mounting points, which are actually 10 millimeters, damn it. Once you have the right tools, which in this case is a 10 millimeter wrench, you can take out the amplifier really easy. Yeah, there we go. Toyota amplifier out. This is what your wiring looks like when it's complete. Got the factory harness stuff here. Click in the locks again. So there's still live power there, which you could tie into if you need to use something else. After you've taken the amp out, what you want to do is take the screws and put them back in on the back side, because that hole's on the bottom of the chassis, bottom of the body, I guess. So if you don't put anything back, you're going to get some road noise. It may not be that noticeable, but it's just stupid to have extra noise when you don't need to. Seat close to in place. Plug it in. Don't forget the little clip. Put the covers back on, and the job's done. Factory amp bypassed, no cut wires, no taped wires, no wire caps, nothing like that. Professionally done, with the right tools, and you can do it too. You just got to get the connector, which I got from Eastern Beaver. You can get it from a couple other places, I'm sure. It's a Sumitomo TS series, and there you go, factory amp bypass in a '99 Land Cruiser.